what I'm wearing. Oh. Anyways, we got some office scandals. Too inappropriate for the internet, but here we are, because they ended up on the internet. Probably from Reddit, because Reddit is freaking wild out there, okay? You know what time it is. It is hydration station time. Grab your drink if it's alcohol. You know what the drill is. 2 sips, because one's for me. Cheers. I'm gonna be reading, so I gotta moisten the palate. Why do I feel something on my tongue? That's alarming. I used to work at a tech startup, you know, the type of nap pods / relaxed, company culture and open bar after work hours. I don't know. That sounds pretty chill. One evening, the CEO, head of the HR, head of sales, and myself had just returned from a business trip, returned to the office to collect some stuff, and found a 3-way going on in the conference room next to the CEO's office. They were all fired and all married. You ruined it with that one piece of information, because now I'm angry. One of them tried to sue for wrongful termination. You're kidding. Man, what lawyer is even gonna take that claim on? They're gonna be like, excuse me, you want us to fight a case against wrongful termination, but you were having a threesome after hours in the office? Yeah, I don't think you're gonna win the case. Pretty sure that's inappropriate and not condoned in the workplace. Y'all can't have a threesome somewhere else? Like, the manager was having an affair with one of our team members and no one knew. There's so much juice already, and I'm only 2 stories in. It was lunchtime and his wife came to surprise him and drop some food off. Me, my other colleague, and his wife were all walking towards the kitchen. She was telling us how her husband has been working so late and he doesn't get time to eat lunch, so she wanted to make sure he doesn't overwork. Bless her heart. We walked down towards the small corridor towards the kitchen and saw the manager spanking our team member while she was up against the wall. Well, slap my ass and call me Judy. His wife dropped the food bags in shock and was trembling and fainted. My colleague called an ambulance. Manager and team members were fired for their inappropriate behavior. Shocker, on company grounds. We don't know what happened to the wife. That breaks my heart though for her. This is all funny because it's like, ooh, the tea. But also that's like a real relationship that got ruined. And she really was like, I'm gonna surprise my husband because I love him and I miss him and he's working so hard. No, he's telling you he's working, but he's actually with his mistress. I'm so sorry. Our HR lady told a pregnant factory worker, you should have thought about that before you got knocked up, when an employee asked, can I move to a different department so I'm not exposed to so many chemicals? That's the HR saying that. HR is who you go to complain about someone saying this to you when you're trying to work in a safe environment for your unborn child. No, the HR lady said this. I think you need a new HR team. That's for sure. I'm not HR, but the person that was in charge of all of our purchasing, raw materials, equipment, tools, etc., was fired 2 months ago because there are $500,000 worth of purchases on the company credit card for tools that are nowhere to be found. Oh my gosh. It now makes sense that he was able to afford the same model of Tesla, $75K, as the owner of the company, even though he was an hourly employee that only worked like 5 hours a day. Oh my God. Ordered the tools on the company credit card and then sold them and bought a Tesla. $500,000. Bruh. Not only are you losing your job, you are gonna have such a lawsuit on your hands. It ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it. One of the employees was having random grinder hookups in the bathroom at work. What? What? Like, hey, meet me at my work in the bathroom in 10. Like on the clock? So his wife wouldn't find, oh, this is a very sticky situation. He's married to a wife and having grinder hookups. He would go missing for He would go missing for a half hour at a time, multiple times a day. I almost made a joke. I was like, I want that job. That's so bad. That's so bad. I'm totally kidding. It just came to mind. It's a joke. We watched the camera to figure out what he was doing. Over and over again, he would lead different guys into the bathroom. One day alone, we counted 6 different guys. Oh my gosh, this is an addiction, sir. We confronted him about it. Was in the process of letting him go, and all of a sudden, he grabs a pair of scissors. Oh, this isn't funny. He grabs a pair of scissors and holds them to his throat, screaming about how we ruined his life and he is going to end it all. That's not funny. I'm not laughing anymore. Little did he know security was walking in when he was going off. The security officer walked right behind him and in one motion got the scissors and was restraining the guy. We called the police and EMTs. They took him away. About a month and a half later, he came back claiming to have found Jesus. Amen. He and Jesus apparently prayed it over, and they believe, I like how they're just telling this story. He and Jesus apparently prayed it over, and they believe he should get his job back. One of the higher-ups heard about it and said, when Jesus starts paying the payroll, then Jesus can decide who should work here. You let Jesus know. You tell your little buddy over there, okay? I need to be centered. My allergies are y'all. This nice weather is beautiful, but seasonal allergies have begun. I sound so sick and I'm like, I'm chilling. I worked at an ad agency where the head of HR sent a company-wide email and attached an unsecured Excel spreadsheet containing everyone in the company's salary. It was a crazy 24 hours or so after that, and several people walked when they found out what coworkers and peers were making over them, and it put some pretty nasty pay-related inequality on display. She was not fired. Not fired? Really? Oh my gosh. I mean, I've seen contracts before at jobs that literally state that you cannot discuss salary with other employees. That's wild that she wasn't fired for that. Like, that's some pretty personal information to be putting out there. That caused a lot of drama, and she was not fired. Unless they couldn't fire her for that, because that wasn't a rule in place. Like, you can talk to whoever you want outside of work what you make, you know? Security footage showed my manager rummaging through a computer he had no reason to be on. IT checked out the computer and they found he deleted some security footage. So they recovered it. Oh my God. What's on it? He was fired for having intimacy, the deed, with one of the employees at work. She was fired too. People. If you're going to have your work affair, why does it have to be in the workplace? I get it, because you're probably in a relationship, so it can't be at home, but even a car in a freaking parking lot. Like, the office, that's where you're gonna lose your job. I'm not trying to encourage this either. Like, why can't we all just be loyal in our relationships and do our job? That would be better. That is what I encourage, but hey. We had a Christian married man who got offended at bad language or slightly off-color jokes that were borderline inappropriate, but still mostly acceptable in the workplace. Well, you would absolutely hate me. I would offend you all the time with my humor and my mouth. We had to sit down with team members on his behalf a few times because he was so offended and felt the office needed to have higher morals. Come to find out, he's having multiple trysts a week. Trice? I'm sorry, I gotta Google that. T-R-Y-S-T. Thrice? T-R-Y. Do I want to have this in my... Oh, a private romantic rendezvous between lovers. Okay. A hookup. You know. All right. He's having multiple hookups a week with other men at local motels. Scheduling these meetups from his work computer. Shortly after IT flagged one of the sites we were frequenting, we hear that his wife has filed for divorce and a bitter battle began. You're a Christian and my swear words offend you and my jokes, but having an affair is completely sinless. And as a Christian man, the Lord will forgive that, but he will not forgive your curse words. Make it make sense. She found out about the affairs with other men and was a stay-at-home mom to their 4 children. She wanted alimony as this guy was pretty successful and earned a lot of commissions. He tanked his production to limit how much he had to pay her in both child support and alimony. On the surface, he was such a stand-up guy who preached strong Christian values. But the reality was, he not only cheated on his wife, he stiffed his kids. An ex-wife with the support they deserved. A real Christian man. You know what? I'm pretty sure in the Bible it says, stuff your children and your ex-wife and cheat on them whenever you want. It's not a sin. It's not a sin. Hello? My lips are a little dry. I'm talking a lot. Not HR and not me, but a former colleague. He had given notice at the company. During his 2-week notice, they had hired someone to manage the team that he worked on. The manager called a team meeting to introduce him to the team. The first thing he said was, I'm going to need all the ladies to let me know when their monthly cycles are because I don't need that kind of craziness. I hate him already. He proceeded to talk about a black woman's hair. Okay, we really hate him. And literally every other possible insensitive topic you can imagine. During my friend's exit interview, he said to the HR person, I bet you're getting a lot of calls about X's meeting today. They said no. He proceeded to tell them the whole story. The HR person excused themselves for a minute. The new manager was being let out by security when my friend walked out of the exit interview. Probably for the best. I wasn't in HR at the time, but I once worked at an office where someone allegedly was fired for microwaving their socks in the break room. Hold on. I got a lot of questions. Why would you get fired for microwaving your socks? Like, did it catch fire and burn the place down? Like, were they like putting them in for a quick 20 to warm them up? It's disgusting either way. Not saying it's right, but can you fire someone over microwaving? Obviously you can. Obviously you can. Microwaving socks, like that's where you put your food. I just want to know why. Like the first thought I had was they wanted to warm them up. To wear a toasty little pair of socks for the rest of the day. That's disgusting. Why do I feel like I have stuff in my lips? I don't. I'm in my head. Someone got fired and they smeared their shat all over the bathroom on the way out. That's sick. From then on, people had to be escorted out by security. I don't even want to picture it, but I'm picturing it. They got fired. They're like, okay, I just need to use the bathroom before I go. Went in there, took a dump. Somehow, what, did you use your bare hands? Toilet paper and just smeared, like, you know, have some grace. Keep your morals. I get you couldn't keep your job, but at least hold on to some morals. Normal scandal. The owner left his wife for his secretary. Oh, that's sad that that's normal. But the wife owned 50% of the company. Yeah, she did. And she made him pay through the nose for it. Absolutely. He was a total stereotype. The company had become really prosperous. He started working out, got a really expensive sports car, Lamborghini, I think. Then he dumped his wife, was publicly involved with the secretary, left his company to be run by other people, and ran off to California, got married, and had kids. He was kind of a head before that anyways. I can't believe that's a normal scandal. That I have not been involved in a scandal like this. Although, here's some tea. This is back to my bartending days. There was this girl, actually it was a girl and a guy, they were bartenders with me, and they would always just make out at work. Like they would sneak off and make out all the time. And like she would tell me about it. Like it was like she would ask me for a piece of gum and then she'd like be like, oh, and I knew when she was going. So she's like, can you watch the bar for 5 minutes? And I was like, oh, girl! Just to get a make out in? Like, my God. Like they would be, let me paint the picture. They would be asked to go do something, like bottle the boxes with empty beer bottles, whatever. So they would go in the room and they'd be doing the work and they would sneak in a little smooch sesh, okay? Come to find out, they were not single. They were not single. I didn't know that. Then I found out they weren't. And I was like, oh. So then I had this secret and I was like, oh my God, why did you tell me this information? I don't want it because you're doing something terrible and I don't condone this now. I thought it was just this fun little makeout session. I don't agree with this. Anyways, oh, to be 20 again, you know? I'm out of here, you guys. If you got an office scandal or if you've heard of one, it doesn't even have to be yours. Tell me in the comments because I want to know. I'm out of here though. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy and I'll see you tomorrow.